Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to NBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in on a Tuesday evening. Going to handle business right off the top. First of all, didn't know as many people felt as passionately about this program, Nothing But Rants, our national hour, as you did. But those of you who were, multiple people reached out to me yesterday. Hey, where's NBR? Where's NBR? Where's NBR? Some of you watched it live, so you probably don't even know what I'm talking about. But you will. We deleted it right after right after the show. Went back and watched it. I don't always do, but I felt very uncomfortable in the moment after last night's rant about Shane Beamer. And here's what I'm going to tell you as an audience, okay? I don't have to go into all that. I just felt uncomfortable because I dropped the F word in a situation that I don't need to be probably using the F word on this program anyways. Every time I say it in my normal life, but when I say it on air, for some reason, it makes me feel uncomfortable. So I'm just not going to say it anymore. I'm going to try not to say it anymore like I did yesterday, especially in the context that I did. I was frustrated with Shane Beamer because he made me wrong. I don't like being wrong, but I wanted to play for the guy, and I said I would play for the guy, and then he goes out there and he doesn't defend his players. He's super emotional and breaks his foot after a game and kicks something, and he's doing all these behaviors that doesn't make me like his coaching styles anymore, and that's okay. And I can make those opinions without being or telling him to get the F off the stage, which is what I did yesterday. I told him your job in that moment is to take the arrows from the mad, ugly loss that you had at home to a Florida football team, take the blame, say it's all on me, it's on my coaching staff, we're going to do the things to get better, and then just get off the stage. I didn't have to say get the F off the stage the way I did, and I don't have to connote my opinions that way anymore moving forward. So that's off the top, off the rip. But where we were right, where we were wrong, it's a great time to be here on the show today, so make sure you hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff. Let's get right into these things. We make a lot of opinions around here. We've been doing a lot of shows. We're like 2.5 months in to this network here. First of all, welcome in, boys. My boy Jay Will and my boy Kirby. Guys, given a ton of opinions. We've given a ton of opinions. Like, for example, I'm kind of right here, but I'm kind of wrong, kind of right. Wisconsin, okay, coming into the season, I said I thought Wisconsin under Luke Fickell could, he could coach D2 team in the Big Ten West and manage to win the Big Ten West or compete for the Big Ten West. And had Tanner Mordecai not gotten hurt, I think they win or have a chance to win that game against Iowa, despite the fact that Iowa's defense is pretty suffocating. So it looks like I'm right midway through the season that Wisconsin's going to be relatively good this year, or good enough to compete in the Big Ten year one under Luke Fickell. Just couldn't get over to Iowa this year. But you know what? Next year, going to have to score 16 points to beat Iowa, and I think he'll do it.
You got to do it. 16.
So I was right there.
Mm-hmm. You were right there.
Love being right. We'll come back to a wrong very, very soon. You want me to hit you with a wrong? We'll go ahead and hit you with a wrong. I said UCLA, I believe in rookie Dante Moore and Chip Kelly more than I believe in Oregon State to be consistently good. Ooh. Is that crazy? Yeah, it is. Because Dante Moore, not consistently good. In fact, consistently bad last week. Okay, couple of pick sixes in that football game, or damn near pick sixes. One pick six, one return back inside the red zone. I was wrong. Okay, wrong about UCLA. Not completely wrong, but slightly wrong. And wrong about Oregon State. They've been consistently a good football team this year.
You ought to know where I'm going, where I'm right.
Where do you go?
Duke being a top 15 team this year, man. Now they are 17, but man, that's top. That's good enough in my book. That's good enough to say that I was right on that one so far.
Love being
and man,
right.
Riley Leonard, if he was still healthy, and if they had gotten that win against Notre Dame, man, oh man, if only. But can't harp on that too much.
If only
I'll tell you where I was also dead wrong. This is also in the ACC. I came on here probably about 2 weeks ago, and I said that Syracuse is an underrated football team. Woof. That flamed out so fast. 2 weeks later, couldn't be more wrong. I think they scored 3 points against FSU.
Ooh.
It was not good, and they compiled that with another performance the week before that against Clemson. That wasn't too good either, so I was very wrong about that.
So where I was right, I said that I believe Oregon State can make a push in the Pac-12, and it looks like they've got a shot to do that. They're one loss now. They just beat the hell out of – well, they didn't beat the hell out of, but they handily beat UCLA. Where I was wrong was I said that Kansas could kind of be an upset or a spoiler in the Big 12. Hasn't worked out that well.
Lance
for the
Leipold
Jayhawks.
letting us down,
Yeah.
but not in an old school Kansas fashion. Like Kansas used, I think we are not far removed from Kansas being the laughing stock of college.
Oh yeah, they
football.
were the worst team in the world.
And now they lose like close games.
yeah,
They lose like Arkansas should lose.
Yeah, they're a respectable team.
Yeah. So there you go. Shouts out to Lance Leipold. We were right, but we were wrong about you guys. It's kind of right and wrong here. This one right here from our 3 bold predictions, one of which Brock Bowers to New York, not going to happen. Barrett Carter will be the most impactful defender in college football on a down-in and down-out basis. Hasn't happened. It's been the Latu kid from UCLA. And I was kind of right, kind of wrong here. Michael Penix will have a statistically superior year to Caleb Williams. Ding. But Williams will win his second Heisman Trophy.
I knew that wasn't.
Definitely not going to win that one. But, yeah, kind of right, kind of wrong there. Not bad takes there, man.
No, not bad.
Not bad
I
takes.
don't know if you can count the Bowers one as wrong. That's got to be the asterisk. I mean, if he didn't get hurt, he's going to New York.
So I was wrong about my Prize Picks lock of the century. I thought Caleb Williams over 3,400 passing yards. I thought that was lock of the century. He's not going to make it.
You just ruined my day. I forgot about that. Neither is Brock Bowers.
Yeah, no,
Bowers can make it.
no.
Dude, he has to get like
Let's
700
get like
yards.
300 yards in.
I think it
2
only
games,
counts
3
conference
games?
championship weekend. So like he'd have to put up like 300
Oh,
yards.
so it's not the whole
In the SEC
season?
championship game.
It's not
I don't know if
entire
the playoffs
season?
count. I
brutal.
don't think that they
Well, that's
do.
what I'm saying. If he comes back for the SEC championship,
If he has 3 games to do it, maybe
Yeah.
it's possible.
so
I guess I just gave a lot of takes about the ACC so far this year.
Mine were all Pac-12 based.
I got a
Ken,
Pac-12
like Ken
one in here,
DeBoer
too.
being winning his second consecutive year coaching of the year award.
Another ACC one that I was right about is as soon as Clemson lost to Duke, I said they're going to finish the season unranked. I think I'm going to be right on that one. They're not ranked right now. I just don't see them being able to move the needle whatsoever the rest of the season, and especially with the ACC not exactly having too many powerhouses to where you can get like some signature wins down the stretch for them to move up in the rankings. I think that Clemson's going to finish the year unranked. One that I was wrong about, I stood 10 toes down on LSU being the best team in the SEC West. I thought that they were going to win the division once again. I thought that they were going to be in Atlanta against Georgia. Having a rough day with the hoodie over there, huh?
Shut
I
up.
want to put the camera on
Keep
you.
doing
Silver.
show. You're fine. I don't care. I don't care.
But, yeah, I was wrong about LSU being the best team in the SEC West. I think the defense, of course, has kind of fumbled back there a little bit. And then I was also wrong. I said that Mason Smith was going to end up being the best defensive player in the SEC. That hasn't panned out. So I was just all kinds of wrong about LSU this year.
We've kind of hammered this one already, but we were right about Joe Milton.
Ooh.
But I wanted to piggyback that off of I was wrong about this Tennessee defense.
Yep.
I didn't really think they were going to be worth a damn.
I blew somebody's mind today telling them that Willie Martinez was their defensive coordinator. Because, Georgia beat reporters, they remember Willie Martinez fairly well. They're like, what? That guy's still coaching? He was terrible.
Yeah. He was at Miami for a while, wasn't he?
I
Yeah.
honestly don't. Like,
You don't remember it being that bad under Willie?
No. That's not what I was about to say. I don't know if I'm here for the stuff of, like, Tennessee's defense is actually good.
I think their
It's
front seven's
it's
good.
way better than I thought it was.
I think their
gonna be.
front seven is good.
I think their front seven is good. But, like, their front seven was good last year. They got after the quarterback. They blitzed a lot.
They've gotten
and
bigger.
They,
They've gotten bigger and faster, stronger.
I didn't think their defense would take as much of a step as it did. That's why I was wrong. I thought it was either going to be the same as last year or regress.
We'll find out this weekend.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think you'll find out in the second half of the season, to be honest. I think that's where their best offensive opponents that they're going to face are going to end up coming. I don't know that they – so that's just my take, though.
We were 100% right about Alabama. We
yeah.
told you earlier in the year, bully ball doesn't exist in 2023. You people act like quarterback play isn't the main contributing factor to successful football. Like if you don't have a good quarterback or a serviceable quarterback, you can't win. And we've been proven right in this factor this year multiple times over. He had multiple interceptions, did not play well enough against Texas. You couldn't just bully him. You got beat. Okay, well, guess what? The next opponent on your schedule that could box with you and get in the ring and take your shots because they're as talented or nearly as talented as you was Texas A&M. And guess what? Jalen Milroe showed up. Okay, he threw for 324 yards. He was extremely efficient down the field, okay, and he looked like a quarterback that can win football games as a quarterback, okay, as a guy who's throwing the ball through the air, as did Jermaine Burton prove to be a weapon that is worth targeting down the field. So we were proven extremely right in that fashion. Where we were proven wrong was saying that Jalen couldn't do it. And there was a while in this show where we didn't believe that he could win football games in that fashion. He did it at Texas A&M. He did it in a similar sense, kinda, this weekend against Arkansas. We'll talk a little bit about that later because I think my boy Kirby wants to get in here with some stats on
Yeah,
correct?
I got a little something we can talk about.
All right, we can talk about that a little bit later. Yeah, that's where I was right. Y'all got any more?
I've got one.
Hold on. Right and wrong. I was wrong on Bo Nix. We'll be quick. Just wrong. Okay, you are completing almost 80% of your passes, but most importantly, only one turnover this year. Okay, and that's been my finicky issue. He's one of.
Like
That's how
throwing a
you
dog
play.
two tennis balls.
How long can you do that without like getting tired?
Without hyperventilating and passing out?
Yeah.
Well, I think that would be the line. How far can we go without passing out? About 90 seconds.
90 seconds?
I think so. I think about 90 seconds.
That's good content.
Maybe 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Wow.
Maybe one day we'll start a Patreon-only video with that. And then I'll just faint, and I'll come right back to it and be like, all right, let's shut up and grind the tape.
I like it.
What an intro.
So this one, I was wrong, and then I was right.
Yeah.
I think we all were. We were wrong about how Colorado was going to be. We thought they were still going to be a terrible team this year.
I had a 3-win football team coming in the season.
And they came out the gate, came out 4-0. I mean, fair to say, surprised a lot of people.
Me? Yeah. I didn't think I'd beat TCU
we
to start
also
the season.
very quickly saw through the overreactions of that, where Coach Prime's one of the best coaches. Colorado, are they a top 15 team? Could they win the Pac-12? We said no, none of that's going to happen. And looking at it now, they're looking like a 5-7 team more and more every day. So we were wrong and then right about them on that.
I was wrong about Shane Beamer, okay, being a Shane Beamer guy. I think that ship has sailed, okay, for a variety of reasons. Throwing players under the bus, and then even his sorry for throwing my players under the bus statement yesterday was kind of like, yeah, man, I should be out here taking responsibilities for my players not making plays. Basically,
My fault.
is what he said. If you read, I mean, I like to just take it for the words, okay, and leave all the. You don't have to. I don't even have to check your tone because the players don't care. It's the words on the clippings that come out, and the words on the clippings today were that. Sorry for blaming my players, but my players didn't do their job. Okay, that was the apology today, while also being in a cast because he broke his foot, kicking something in the locker room.
Here's
after
my
the
question.
Game. What's up?
Was he barefoot when he kicked something?
You know, Beamer do be giving the feet for free. I think why are we the only program that noticed Mans walks around bare-hoofed in his building? Are we the only ones that read the Brandon Marcello interview?
We're the only people I've heard talk about it and acknowledge it.
So we must have, unfortunately for our friends at 24/7 Sports and our friend Brandon Marcello, we must have been the only people that read that article. Because I put that in front of other SEC staffers, and they were like, "What? No way! Mans does what?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dog. He gives feet for free.
He'd be walking around in the floppers.
He'd be walking around in the floppers, and he gave 90 minutes of just f around time to a journalist 10 days before the biggest game of the season.
Tough.
2 wins later, yikes.
2-4. I'm gonna work. Our friends over there at the SEC podcast. Cousin Shane put out that video you sent in the chat yesterday. Was hysterical. The video of him saying, "I'm gonna be a little bit more controlled in my emotions this year." Yada yada yada. Man's out here kicking bitches, kicking bitches and crying after wins and crying after losses. Because he cares. That's what it was today. That's what sent me today. It was. You know, some people will say, oh, coach isn't controlling his emotions, coach isn't being poised in the heat of battle, and they'd be wrong. I just care. I care a lot, too. I cared a lot yesterday, and that's why I
Care too much.
Yeah, I cared too much. Got way too emotional. Can't be emotional.
Well, I was right about a coach having a bad year this year. I said at the beginning of the year, Dave Aranda was going to be in some trouble. I said, there's a world where Dave Aranda
That hurt
and
my
Baylor,
heart. I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, and I was like, there's a world where Dave Aranda and Baylor go out here and put a stinker on the schedule, and they have. They're 12th in the Big 12 right now.
What?
It is real. I think they've won one game.
There's 14 teams in the Big 12, right?
I love this. All the conferences with numbers, and none of the
Because
numbers
it's
are
the Big
significant.
12 plus the newbies.
Let's see.
Hell,
Yeah,
there might
'cause-
be 16 teams in the Big 12 this year.
Who knows, dude? I can't keep
It's
up with it anymore.
nuts. It's
Was
a
there
lot.
like 25 in the SEC now?
Something like that. There's 14 in the Big 10.
All right, let's see.
There's
Big 12.
14 in the ACC.
Either way, Baylor.
So Baylor
Not
is
good.
Not great.
Baylor currently is 2-4, and there are 14 teams. UCF and Cincinnati are in last right now.
Well, that's a good look for those teams.
Yeah.
Welcome to the big leagues.
Welcome to the big
Welcome
leagues.
to the show.
I think we learned a little
yeah.
bit about mid-major competition, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
Holy
so if
smokes.
it wasn't for UCF and Cincinnati joining the conference, Baylor would be dead last.
So you were 100%
So
right
100%
on that one.
right on them. Dave Aranda, boy, oh boy, that seat is boiling, steaming hot. And then just collectively, I was wrong about the Pac-12 this year. There's just hardly ever been a season where I've been a believer. I think that I thought USC and I thought that Oregon would be your top two teams. Didn't see Washington being what they are right now. Didn't see Oregon State being what they are right now. Didn't see Utah continuing to fight, even if Cameron Rising is not playing. So I was wrong about the Pac-12 all around.
Is your take saying like they're a good conference this year, or
They're better than what I thought they would be
Okay.
collectively.
okay?
Yeah.
That's fair to say.
You got anything else?
I'm just all I have to say about Pac-12 is give it time. That's all.
So you're saying that I might
Still
actually end up
fading.
being right.
You might
Still
no,
fading.
because I think you're right in that they're better than you think they're going to
Yeah.
be, but they're not as good as we're making them out to be.
All right. I was kind of right about Clemson. I thought Clemson's offense was going to be rather constipated this year because of offensive line play. And it's kind of been because of that, but it's really been because of the other thing that I thought, which was, hey, where are the weapons? Ain't got no dudes. Indeed, no dudes out there at Clemson. And it's been like that for a couple years now. I think that was our analysis when we did the real heavy all-22 deep dive a couple years ago coming into the season, wasn't it? I said N-A-D, not a dude out there, didn't I?
Yeah, I
Over and
remember
over
that.
and over again. So guess what? It's been the same MO for a couple years now, and ain't shit changed, okay? But the last names on the back of the jerseys out there, they got lacrosse homies playing wide receiver, dog. Lax bros out here. Praise to be to Jesus. Anything else?
That's all for me.
That's it for me as well. Hey, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, and rate and review. And where should we go next? I think we should talk about these Jalen Milroe stats. What you got for me?
All right, so we all kind of shit on Jalen Milroe, rightfully so. He did not look good at the start of the season, but these last two games kind of make it seem like he's hit his stride at least.
I watched it before the show. I'm interested. I know what the film said about Arkansas. I'm interested to say what the stats said.
So last two games, I'll let you just guess his stat line. From the last two games.
We averaging?
No, I combined them.
Okay.
Yards, touchdowns, interceptions. What do you think his stats look like?
620 yards on 34 receptions or for 34 completions.
I didn't do completion
Okay.
percentage.
So 620-ish yards. What was the other ones?
Touchdowns and interceptions.
Touchdowns, let's say 6, 1 interception.
So pretty close. You overshot a little bit. 559 for yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Huh.
Which if I told you that at the start of the season, you'd be like, oh, sign me up, please.
15-0.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, has he come into a stride, or is it that he played A&M in Arkansas?
A&M's pass defense, atrocious.
Not very
Yeah,
good.
really
Absolutely atrocious.
Arkansas is pretty rough too.
Arkansas is not great. Joey Catalon left that roster. Went to Texas.
Yeah.
it's not good.
So is it he's hit
So,
a
yeah.
stride, or is it just you're finally playing teams that can't really defend the pass and you're taking advantage of it?
Here's what I'll tell you.
Because I think against Arkansas he was like 10 for 21.
I think he's playing good football. Okay, and I watched every pass attempt in the first half when they had most of their success. Now they got kind of limited in the second half, but bro, he's not getting a lot of help right now. He is not getting a lot of help right now. I told you, what was the first thing I said? My God, he's playing in a lot of chaotic pockets. Lot of chaotic pockets. Okay,
pocket.
and when we don't have a nice umbrella, A as a quarterback, we feel really, really uncomfortable. Like, more uncomfortable than Rihanna first saw Chris Brown after that one night. Like, real uncomfortable. Umbrella references, I figure we keep it
That's
rolling.
fine. That's fine.
Really uncomfortable. I mean, that's his track record.
Yeah.
I ain't put my hands on a woman. You put your hands on a woman?
Not like that. No.
Okay, then. All right, what's up then? I mean, we ain't.
Whoa, it's got so serious.
I don't know, but if you don't want, if
your
you
hands
don't,
on
hey, just rule of thumb here. If you don't want jokes made about you in future reference about you putting your hands on a woman, don't put your hands on a woman. All right, so I ain't got no remorse for making. I ain't got no remorse for making jokes with him catching the stray at the back end of that for what he did. So on that, really uncomfortable pockets for Jalen Milroe out here in these football games that I'm watching. Left tackle, not great. Right tackle, every once in a while. Stunt game, not great. All right, and even here's why it's not all good news for this evaluation of Jalen Milroe. It's become this point where like every pocket feels chaotic, even when it's not. He's seeing ghosts now. which is a problem for the offense as a whole. So there you go.
That's a problem going into Saturday.
Yes.
That's
Very much so a problem, but they're at home.
Yeah.
So they'll be all right. I don't know how that offense for Tennessee does anything against it. I cannot express to you enough. I think the two best defenses in the sport right now, Michigan and Alabama, and then UCLA right behind that. But UCLA is a stat defense. They're Pac-12 in it right now. If you made them play the other schedules that those other two teams are doing, they're not looking like that.
No.
So, yeah. Anyways, Alabama defense, Michigan defense, dogs.
For sure.
Georgia defense, getting there. Starting to look like it.
Yep, week by week.
Where are we at?
You want to do guess the line now?
I have no idea where we were talking about.
We were talking about Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, we just did Jalen Milroe. Should we do, what'd you ask? Should we do guess the lines? Yeah, let's do guess the lines. Let's go. Your segment, big boy. Big boy.
All
Your
right.
segment, big boy.
It's game of the weekend right here. This one hardly needs any introduction whatsoever.
Game
We
of
got
the
Penn
century?
State, the game of century.
Game of the millennium?
I feel like we've had so many games.
I know, that's why I was being this jackass. Go ahead.
Penn State at Ohio State.
All right.
No. Let me go first.
Yeah. We gotta do some alterations.
Oh, all right, let's do it.
So the way I look at this
we
game
got
is that
KB.
these teams are probably very evenly ranked when you put them on models and simulations. The fact that Ohio State's at home is probably going to give them a 2 to 3 point favoritism in their side. So I'll go Ohio State 3.5.
So Ohio State 3.5 is a good ass number. I'm gonna say 4 and play the top side on this just so I can take the over and get the top side because I don't think it's underneath that. So I'm gonna say 4.
Well, that's a smart move because it's Ohio State -4.
But no, dude, 3.5 is gonna be my number. Like I think it's that type of football game.
For sure.
And even coming into the year, I think the analysis from us was that these two football teams look fairly similar, just in terms of style and how they go about playing football. Here's the thing, though. I think Ohio State has a much better defense. I think Penn State has the slightly better quarterback, but not as much weaponry. Okay, so where do you fall on that? I mean, I think Ohio State on paper is the better football team. They're playing at home. I think they should be
You know what I
favored.
think Penn State should do?
What's up?
I think first play of the game, they should just say, Aller, just throw it deep no matter what.
No matter what.
No matter what.
Let a
it
playmaker
fly.
make a
Just
play.
see if your wide receiver can come down with it, make a play.
You know, like they did with Godwin.
Yeah.
You know,
Or
like they
Dotson.
like they do with Dotson.
Yeah, like that. I think that's what they should do very first play of the game. Just no matter what. Like if they've got 3 safeties back there, like I don't care if they're playing man up 3 deep.
I like this.
Just throw it deep,
Sometimes
no matter
you
what.
just gotta give your guys a chance to make a play.
Yeah.
Don't run a curl. You know, don't do anything, you know, that's on the surface of the skin, nice and easy. You know, I was trying to sneak a skin curl reference in there, but I couldn't do it. No, that's tremendous takes right there.
That's excellent.
I thought so
That's
too.
good stuff.
I think that's just what they should do. So James Franklin, if you're listening, just throw it deep no matter what. I think
Just throw it
that
deep.
should be the game plan.
No matter what.
Absolutely. All right, we just kind of talked about this one. We got Tennessee at Alabama.
I'm first here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
get
can
go
go.
first this time.
All right, so Alabama has, believe it or not, the better quarterback, okay, in this football game, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay? Because at least, I mean, neither of them can process information thoroughly, all right? But if that's going to be the case, if we're going to have some confusions in the windows, and if we can make it hard, and if we can make you pat the football, I'm going to take the guy that can run off and be like really, really dynamic with his legs. So I'm going to take the quarterback and the advantage there. I think Tennessee is I shouldn't say much better. They are better at the line of scrimmage. Okay, they protect better. They get after the quarterback better. I think they have the better running game on Tennessee's side of the football. But unit to unit across the board at home, Bama the better football team. Bama by 7 in this football game.
I like Bama by 7. I think it's probably going to be more than that, honestly, just because Tennessee's shown you virtually nothing on offense, and that Bama defense is stout, whereas Alabama has had some forms of life on offense. And like you said, they have better weapons. I'll go Bama -9 here because I think it's a little more than a touchdown. Plus, it's in Tuscaloosa, so you're going to get a bump.
Both tremendous guesses, but Christian's right on the number. It's Alabama -9.
Wow, let's go. Finally, I got one.
By the way, go ahead and give you my prediction here. I think it's like a 27-10 football game.
Oh, it's going to be low. Oh, yeah.
I can see that.
I do not think. I think Bama kind of scores late at home. They typically do. And they're going to get a little get you some from last year's, ripping the goalposts out kind of deal. When you beat Bama the next year, he kind of thumps your head. You know what I mean?
Well, he used to do that.
He
doesn't
that.
do it much anymore.
But, I mean, he doesn't have that much of a significant advantage anymore. He doesn't get to thump up on dudes. This ain't the Bama of old. The Bama of old would do that. You're
that's
right.
What I'm saying.
But he has an advantage. I think they're a better football team than Tennessee is right now.
I agree.
So, final prediction on that, because I think we should clip this and make it just full analysis on this game.
That's fine.
I do think Bama is the superior football team. I think it's a 28-10 day. When I watch Bama on film, I don't know how Tennessee scores a lot of points in this game, watching the quarterback play that they've had this year.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those games where it's like, geez, neither team can get anything going on offense, and then one busted play, and suddenly it's like, oh, it's a 17-10 game in the fourth, and then Bama pulls away late. That's the way I see it going. I think it's going to be low scoring as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see something like 24-14, something along the lines of that. I think
Alabama does. Honestly, very similar to the football game they played at home against Texas A&M last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that was an ugly football game.
Yeah, just
the
lean
whole
on
time.
them.
Just in between the 20s, just playing field position.
Do you think that we're going to get another all-timer field rush clip from this game?
No, because Tuscaloosa don't do it like that.
They don't field rush.
When was the last time they've stormed the field? They're
well,
very
you
similar
mentioned
to Stanford.
like some vengeance from last year.
Oh.
If you as Alabama, like the gold standard of football programs, rush the field against a team you were predicted by 2 scores against, ranked higher than, and had beaten 15 years prior to that.
You're Clemson at that point.
Yeah, you're a poverty program if you're doing.
No,
that.
I wouldn't hate on it. I don't think
There's some field rushings where it's like, come on.
I think Alabama and Georgia and Ohio State, well, not Ohio State, Michigan, they play a really big game every year, so they might do some storming. But I think there are certain programs that are just above this.
Yeah.
They just don't do it.
Bama should be one of those programs.
Bama should be one of those programs.
I don't disagree.
No storm in the field out there. What's our next game, Jay Will?
I think you could classify this one as a little bit. I don't even know if you could call it a trap game, but I think it is a little bit. I think this one's really interesting, especially with considering the conference and how it's playing out right now. Duke at Florida State.
This is an interesting one, and I don't really know what to make of it. I don't think Riley Leonard's back.
No.
And I don't think you're going to be able to run the ball 400 times and throw it 12 and come out there with a win against Florida State. As much as we don't think Jordan Travis is as elite as he's advertised, I still think he's a better quarterback than, what's his name, Henry Blee.
I don't even know the backup's name.
So I'm going to go, it's Florida State double digits. I have 12 here.
I'm going to say 11. I'm going to go underneath you. But here's my analysis on this football game. One thing that shocked me about watching Duke versus Clemson and watching Duke versus Notre Dame is that Duke is a football team suddenly that can cover. Like, Duke's got DBs. Duke's got, guys that can cover out at defensive back. And that's what it's required now to have any type of success against Florida State. Their offense is predicated off, we got that Marco Wilson guy, and we got that Keon Coleman guy, and we're going to throw back shoulder fades, and we're going to throw deep balls, and we're just going to get on top of you, and that's what we're going to do as an offense. And we're going to make it nice and easy for our quarterback. If he sees one-on-one reads, hey, one of them things right there, and just we're throwing a go ball. That's it. Make it nice and easy for the quarterback. I don't know if that's going to be 100% available against Duke. Like, they have shown they can cover. Now, can they cover 2 NFL guys? I don't know, because Keon Coleman is a first-round draft pick. And Marco Wilson? I keep calling him Marco Wilson.
No, it's Johnny Wilson.
Johnny Wilson, okay? Yeah,
Marco
that's
Wilson's
shoe thrower. You're right, that's a shoe thrower. Johnny Wilson, way better of a name than Marco. Johnny Wilson, the third, I'm pretty sure. Johnny Wilson is an NFL guy too, maybe a second, third round draft pick at 6'7" and got some run to him too, makes incredible catches. But I think Duke's ability to cover in this game is, relatively new to this matchup particularly. That being said, can't really overcome a backup quarterback and stagnant offense. I do think this is another one of them drag you into the mud football games, or try to in the first half. I would take the first half under, all right, but I would set the line at Florida State about 11.
What did you say?
I said 12.
12? Okay. It's Florida State minus 14. 2 touchdowns.
2 full tutties,
And update on Riley Leonard, day-to-day. So that's according to
That'll
Mr.
swing that
Elko.
line pretty quickly.
Yeah, smoke screen it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, next one. It's bounce back week for this team, and another interesting game in my opinion, because
it's a tough opponent to try to climb off the mat against.
Yeah, and for sure. But they are at home for this matchup, and it's Utah at USC.
I'm up.
Yep.
Really, really tough. This is a hold you down on the mat, squeeze your throat type of football team.
Is that all you're doing?
Say what?
Nothing.
Say what now?
I said, is that all you're doing?
Maybe. Man, tough matchup for USC after that Notre Dame game. Utah, another team that can cover. Yeah. Another team that defensively can get after you as well. We've seen pressure and multiple looks give USC a problem the last couple of weeks. Give me USC at home -4.
This is the one I struggled with the most when I was going.
I want to say -5.
I don't know if I want to pick USC.
5 or 4?
No, 4.
I don't know if I want to pick USC in this scenario.
They are the lower ranked team right now.
It's
a trap.
I'm gonna go USC -2.5, just because I want to play it close.
Near pick them, huh?
I would pick Utah in this game, but my gut is telling me that Vegas believes it would be USC. What is it?
USC -6.5.
Okay,
That's too much.
I agree.
That's way too much.
I think it's too much as well.
That's way too much.
What
has USC done over the last 2 weeks to show you that they are a complete football team, by the way?
Not shit.
And if I told you, hey, open market, this ain't going to happen because he's a big name and everybody wants to hire offense. But Kyle Whittingham versus Lincoln Riley. Who's the better football coach? I ask you. One guy's made a college football playoff. Okay. The other guy's managed to win the Pac-12 like a bunch. Hadn't he won the last 2 years out there at Utah with Kyle Whittingham?
Yeah, since 2020, I think.
Dude, hell of a football coach. By the way, has done so at a program that doesn't have the resources that Oklahoma or USC has. You know
what my gut tells me about this game?
What's that GUT? What's that graphics utilization tactic tell you?
This tells me that it's that type of game where USC gets beat and the whole world goes, wait, Lincoln Riley's overrated. He's not good. All he can do is make quarterbacks. Like it happens every year. And then, USC kind of becomes an afterthought until next year when their next great quarterbacks come through the ranks. And it's like, oh, is this the guy that saves them? I just think that's how it goes for USC here. They got exposed. They took a bad L. The shine of Caleb Williams has ran off. So I think that's where it goes. I don't have any facts or data to back it up. That's just my feeling.
I want to put that on the poll. We don't have a poll, but I'm going to put it on the poll. Who would you take tomorrow? Who's a better football coach? Lincoln Riley, Kyle Whittingham.
My problem is I don't think there's enough people who truly know.
Start your program tomorrow.
I don't think there's enough people who truly know who Kyle Whittingham is.
I don't think so either. But he's a damn good football coach.
If I'm starting a program tomorrow.
You know who does? Billy Napier knows about Kyle Whittingham. Mm-hmm. Billy Napier knows all about him. He coached circles around that dude to start the season.
That's a tough question to answer.
That's a tough question. I'm going to put it out on Twitter right now. Go to our next one.
All right. This one's just one of those games where just sit in front of your TV and just hope and pray that one of them gets a microphone in their face and says something or gives you some type of content. Just wait around for the Twitter clip. It's Ole Miss at Auburn.
Woo!
Hugh Freeze versus Lane Kiffin.
Praise to be Jesus.
This is his first game back in Ole Miss, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, Ole Miss's first game.
First time playing against Ole Miss.
Yeah, he won't be in Ole Miss. Give me Ole Miss -7.5.
12.5.
Whoa.
Auburn's a bad football team. Oh, no. It's at home. This is at home.
Jordan Hare, baby.
This is at home.
Jordan Hare, dude.
This is at home. Give me 8.5.
8.5. You said what?
7.5.
Ole Miss 6.5.
Yes.
It's good lines. You kicked my ass this week.
It's
a good
one
line.
more, but I don't know that it matters.
No, I mean, he's got the dub. He's got 4 of the 6 already.
Look at you. Big bounce back win for you.
Walked me. I put the last 2 on the schedule, too, on the slate. South Carolina and Mizzou. Good football game.
Yeah.
Should be a good football game.
Very important game if you're a Georgia fan.
Very important game if you're got Shane Beamer stock.
Yeah.
If he loses this game, is he fired?
So that'd make him 2-6 or 2-5. 2-5.
They'd be 2-5. I don't know if you can fire him. The momentum he had coming into the season
I shouldn't say we shouldn't do all the should he be fired, all this stuff every time this happens. But 2-5, decommitments flooding. Right? So there's got to be negative results for this. You break your foot. You're 2-5.
We said it yesterday.
We're blowing leads.
The schedule is not getting much better.
No,
this is the panic button game where if you lose this, people start to really go,
Let
okay,
me
wait,
say
is
this.
Shane Beamer the answer?
Here's
here?
the-
I don't know that this is the panic button game. Missouri's a good football team. Missouri is one of the better teams in the SEC East. Clearly, South Carolina really isn't. So if you lose this one in embarrassing fashion, maybe that's a panic button worthy loss.
I'm panicking if I'm a South Carolina fan or a booster because this dude's 2-5 with the third, fourth best quarterback in the SEC. And guess what? No matter what, and I've said this already, no matter what, South Carolina is way worse at the quarterback position next year, barring some type of transfer entry. He's 2-5 right now. He's going to get worse at quarterback. We can say what we want about recruiting, but it is not looking good.
No,
Okay,
it's not.
if they lose this weekend.
I agree.
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
3-4, whole lot better. 2-5, not great.
That said, I think South Carolina's going to be favored.
You think South Carolina's
South Carolina's
going
going to be favored at Mizzou.
I'll go South Carolina -4.
Mizzou's going to be favored by 5.
Mizzou's favored by 7.
Okay.
Yeah. Mizzou's a far better football team on paper. And at home.
I honestly thought it'd be a little higher.
And scoring points. Scoring lots of points.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I haven't watched South Carolina in a couple of weeks, but I'm pretty sure they're still a man coverage football team because that's who their defensive coordinator is.
Yep.
They finna get cooked, cuz. Luther Burden finna have 220. He finna have a couple of dollar bills on that head top.
Cook, about to cook.
They finna cook. We are 41 minutes into cooking on this show tonight. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, and rate and review it. All that good stuff on tonight's show. Kirk Herbstreit, I've never loved you more. You are 100% right. College football is so much better than the NFL. We don't have this clip. We don't have this at all.
No, I don't think you can.
But when Washington fans stormed the field, he just took the moment. He did the thing. He let it breathe. And I love watching guys let it breathe on broadcast and moments like that, just letting the audio take care of itself. And he hit the nail on the head. This is a guy who has been paid handsomely to call NFL football games for Amazon nowadays. His weekends are insane. He is calling NFL football games on Thursday nights. He's flying to College Game Day on Friday. He's doing College Game Day Saturday morning. He's going to a college football game on Saturday night. And God forbid if there's a Monday night college football game, he's calling that son gun too. So he does a lot of work and he's around a lot of football. And he is the voice, in my opinion, of football. When I think of like who I want to call a game, it's Kirk Herbstreit by far. And he absolutely loves it. And he is right to say that, you know, there is nothing like college football. There's nothing like college football, in my opinion.
Nothing.
Now, the NFL is king in terms of a ratings boost. There's no doubt about that. But I've been to NFL stadiums.
Mid.
They ain't got nothing on college football stadiums. The environment, the people, there's just too much to do. There's too much to watch. There's too much to go around and see. It is about everything but the game. And when you go to a college football game, it's about everything, you know, that is there.
You know, Kirk actually got on Twitter, I think it was last week, calling a guy an idiot because the guy was basically saying, like, Kirk, why aren't you speaking in that moment? Like, you are the commentator, and you're just not even saying anything. Like, basically the guy was saying he was being biased because the team that won was not the team that he wanted to win, and that's why he wasn't saying anything. And Kirk said, like, man, you are such an idiot because in that moment it's important to let those moments breathe and just let it play out a little bit on screen and, like, just let everybody take it in. So
also, take it in yourself.
Yeah.
Like, he loves that sport. And, like, you can tell. And, like, when moments like that happen to me, like Cedric's play, when he's, you know, grabbing the fumble Saturday and running off, like, I watched it through the lens, and I was so mystified by what was going on, I just didn't even press the button. I didn't even press the button. I watched the play through the lens. I should have had the shots. I don't have the shots because I was just watching. I was just mystified by the moment, and it's okay to be like that. And when that happens, I know that you love it. You know who didn't have any of those? Jason Garrett's ass on that NBC broadcast Saturday night.
All right, here's a question.
What's up?
When it's all said and done, is Kirk going to be the GOAT of color commentary?
Yeah, he is.
He's already
is
there?
to me. I mean, for me. I mean, I'm sure there's some Howard Cosell folks back in the day. I'm sure there's some John Madden folks. For me, it is him. Joe Buck is a play-by-play guy for me.
Yeah.
Tony Romo had a stint for me.
Yeah.
But here's what I didn't realize about Tony. He was so fresh out that he was seeing all those things because he was still studying the game. And what I didn't realize is when he stopped studying, all that stuff would leave. And he's very clearly stopped studying. You give me $19 million a year, though, I might stop studying too.
He's still good at what he does, though.
Still good at what he
he's
does.
still good.
And it's because he has enthusiasm. That's the key. That's the key to me. If you are a play-by-play guy listening to this and a color guy, and it turns out we have some that listen to this show, and thanks for listening, honestly, because it was one of the biggest career moments of my life to have somebody that I've idolized walk over to me and tell me that he watches my show, and I'm going to leave him unnamed. The Discord folks know who he is, but it was dope for me to have that happen, and it happens. But if you're one of those people, listen, your baseline requirement, the only box you have to check, are you having fun? Do you have energy and juice? Because that's what it's about. It's about loving that moment and being in that moment. Let's get into Brooks's top 12. We did this last night. Actually, screw that. Let's do SEC QB rankings. I think they're far more important about the shows.
I've also got Heisman updates.
You got Heisman updates as well. Let's do SEC QB rankings, and we'll tie it into Heisman updates because none of these guys are in it except for maybe one, two,
Probably 2.
Jaden and Carson.
Yeah, that's it.
We'll save it for
We'll
the
save
segment,
it. Save it. Number 8. I got KJ Jefferson coming in at number 8. Turning the ball over still. When I watch it, they're still asking him to do things he's not comfortable doing. Also, the sole focus of defenses. Okay, that's all they watch. I'm just like, all right, let's go hunt one. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to hunt some KJ. And they hunt KJ for 4 quarters. It's tough. As the weeks go on, we might see KJ fall off this list, and I don't think it's a byproduct of him. I think it's a byproduct of circumstance. I think sometimes quarterbacks get evaluated for the totality of the offense, and that is the reality of the position, and that's the cross they bear when they sign up to play that spot. He's struggled as the offense has. Jalen Milroe in at number 7. He's going to continue to climb as long as he continues to overcome the issues at hand. Chaotic. We talked about earlier in the show, chaotic pockets, and you're not going to win like that. Brady Cook had a Mizzou football game where they scored 35 points, and it's not because Brady Cook was cooking. Kentucky put him in one of them Kentucky football games out there at Kroger Field. He drops to number 6, and that bait got y'all last week. I put Graham Mertz in at 7 last week. I had a bunch of people, Graham Mertz is dog food. Graham Mertz this, Graham Mertz that. Non-ball watchers. Every single one of y'all that got caught with that bait last week. That was I'm fitting to find out. I'm fitting to find out how many of my followers are smart ball watchers because Graham Mertz been balling. And he showed up with a 400-yard performance this weekend and won Florida a football game. You got some on that. Did you?
I remember us saying
something.
I remember saying week 3 that we were like, people aren't talking about it, but Graham Mertz is playing pretty good football right now.
Yeah.
And nobody was talking about it. It's because Florida started the season out bad.
And I think it's because of that old stank. That old stain, man. You walk around with that shit stain on you for a while. People going to think you just some shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he walked around with that Badger shit on him for a while. Didn't play well. Didn't play great at Wisconsin. Had a couple of games, all right? But now he's stacking bread down there in Florida, honestly. It looks still could pick up a couple of free hitters. Still see him getting blown up every once in a while because he's not paying attention. He doesn't have all the answers when he's supposed to. But, hey, it is what it is. Took a week off from this guy. Jackson Dart in at number 4. Super excited to watch him play October 11th inside Sanford Stadium. Spencer Rattler in at number 3. Just a casual 23 for 30, 315. That's what dude does every single week. Now, granted, he does have Xavier Leggett. Did you see that throw he made to Xavier Leggett this weekend?
Very nice.
Oh, my God. Dude, like in his grill, on his belly, just kind of lobs one. Yep.
I was going to let you.
Just kind of like, just flick one like that right there for about, I don't know, 45, 50 yards.
Oh, I can't
okay, 45, 50 yards to the boy Xavier Leggett. He's playing really, really well as he has all year. Number 2 and number 1 staying the same. We got Carson Beck at number 2, and we got Jaden Daniels at number 1. Thoughts on the rankings, boys, before we get the Heisman update?
I agree. I mean, it's you've been consistent in your rankings. I do think KJ Jefferson. It's kind of hard to rank him because when you have everyone else just keying in on you and there's not really a lot of weapons, who's to say if he wasn't on even in Alabama, just that level of weaponry, how much better he would be. Like if you switch Jalen Milroe and KJ Jefferson, I think KJ Jefferson's actually a very good quarterback this year. But
Their offense looks totally different. They're not as run, deep shot. Run, deep shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not like that. They're probably actually running offense.
I would maybe switch Jalen and KJ, but other than that, no complaints here.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with it for the most part.
Heisman update.
All right. For the first time in the season, we have a projected favorite in the Heisman race.
Big Penix energy.
Yep, he is minus 145. So much so that the next person in line is plus 1,000. Guess who that is?
Caleb Williams?
No.
Who?
It is Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan
Gabriel and
Good
J.J.
call.
McCarthy are tied with the same odds at plus 1,000. Very next in fourth place is an SEC quarterback. Who is it?
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels. After Jaden Daniels, you have Jaden Daniels and Jordan Travis are tied at plus 1,300.
All right, so the real question becomes, based off this, is what does Michael Penix have to do to lose this award?
Lose 2 games.
That's it?
What
if he throws for 400 yards in both of them?
I don't think it matters. I think losses, like any time, for whatever reason, anytime you're a Heisman contender and you lose a game, even if you play outstanding, you drop.
This dude's on pace to throw for 4,600 yards in the regular season.
That's it. I'm joking.
I knew what he was doing, but Brooks clearly didn't.
4,600 yards.
Dude.
Through 6 games, he's thrown for 2,300.
That's insane.
That's absurd.
Where was I? So
10 yards an attempt.
Yeah, Jordan Travis. Then finally Drake May gets love at plus 1,400. Bo Nix. Then you have a huge drop off. Bo Nix plus 3,000. Caleb Williams all the way down to plus 3,500.
All right, so the 2 bets I would make, I think Penix, they avoid 2 losses. So I would take you're still getting plus odds right there somehow, even though he's a heavy favorite.
No, you're minus odds, minus 145.
Oh, my bad. So I would stay away from that. I would just probably put the house on Drake May at this point.
Thank you. He's my guy.
I probably would just put the house on Drake May and hope that Sun Gun wins out. Because if he does, sir. Now, this is the thing, though. I mean, he's thrown for 1,900 yards already this season. He's on pace for 4,000, 2,400 yards, 24 touchdowns. Okay, he's playing ball. And Tez Walker just got back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're kind of in the heart of their schedule. So if he comes out and throws 3 or 4 games down the stretch, 400 yards, it's a different conversation.
Yeah,
I'm taking Drake May.
I think one thing we just learned right there too, though, is what a loss does to your rankings in Bo Nix. Because I mean, Bo Nix was top 6, top 5.
Bo Nix was top 3, I believe. It was Caleb Williams, Michael Penix, Bo Nix.
He played well against Washington, but
that's what I'm saying. So I mean, even if Michael Penix loses 2
all
games,
it takes for the Heisman is someone to steal your spotlight, even if it's just for 1 week. If they can captivate that spotlight for 1 week and your team loses or something like that, that's all it takes.
I think we've finally hit the territory where it's finally someone's to lose. It's Michael Penix Heisman to lose now,
There you go.
for sure.
All right, so what is left for our
So-
guy right here in Drake May? So he's got a game against Virginia, Georgia Tech, Campbell, Duke, Clemson, and NC State.
That's a whole lot.
Not a lot.
Not a
Not
lot.
a lot. There is some dog doo-doo on that schedule. No premier matchups. His premier win and performance was last week against Miami. I mean,
Yep.
the Duke game by the end. I mean, who knows?
If it gets to that point, his premier performance in game will be in the ACC championship against Florida State, most likely.
And he'll need, like people will have to walk away from that game thinking he's going to be the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
I mean, if he throws for 400 and they win,
He's the Heisman.
yeah.
Right? So that's what's going to require. Win out, ball out.
So then it's Caleb Williams, Carson Beck, Blake Corum, Quinn Ewers. Guess who's on the list now at plus 5,000?
People who don't have a chance to win the Heisman.
Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, again, people who don't have a chance to win the
Jalen
Heisman.
Milroe, better odds than Drew Aller right now.
Bro, Harvey Updike rolling over in his grave, his mythical grave right now, putting money on Jalen Milroe. To win the Heisman, dog?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
The fact that that line is available means some degenerate in Tuscaloosa, Alabama's like, you know who's going to win the Heisman, Bobby? You know what? I think that Milroe's going to do it.
No
And then Ricky's over there going, but Bobby, last week you said he was some shit. And you're going to be like, hey, boy, did you see him against Texas A&M? I don't know why I'm making fun of dippers and chewers like I'm not one myself.
I like how you had names Ricky and Bobby.
Yeah. High level income, baby. No reason to believe I can't live to be 250.
Told you Joe Montoya was going to score a touchdown.
Montana. Hey, love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Sorry for NBR last night. We won't have it happen again. Love you. See you tomorrow.